the Falcons.
And it's
Be
first and goal.
So they have 4 opportunities right now. 103, the clock continues to run. Kelly in the shotgun. First and goal, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Blues in the backfield. Hands it to Blue. Cuts outside, and he's going to be in for the touchdown.
And a good afternoon. Welcome to the Tailgate Sports Show right here on Next Door Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and the Next Door Radio app. Like he does every single Monday, Coach Allred, head football coach at Jordan High School. The season is over. Whoever gets you guys in the playoffs, watch out. You finished the season on a very strong note. But, Coach Allred, how are you, my friend?
Man, we're hanging in there, dude. The weather's got me a little under it, but we're here. We're ready to work.
There you go. So let's kind of do a quick little, go back in history. Talk a little bit more about the season. Again, you finished the season strong. Few things kind of worked out a little bit in the beginning, but then you kind of started finding your strides. Back-to-back weeks, lost by 1 point. One was Vance County, then Hillside, and then you went on an impressive run. Talk about what the difference was, the end of the season for you.
You know, I kind of hinted at it last week when we talked. I feel like the message during the bye week really kind of changed our season. We knew we were coming back into a cleaner roster with a lot less guys banged up. And when we got fresh, we knew on paper what we had. And so it was kind of like, if I could just get them to buy in and stay with me through the adversity, that we'll be okay. And kind of changed the message over from, I kind of demanding them to do what I wanted them to do. And then just kind of reminding them that the opportunity to win games was fleeting, and we needed to lock in and focus on the season because it was going to end sooner than most of them had hoped, and kind of put that onus on the seniors, and they took it and ran with it.
Coach Allred, football coach of Jordan High School, joins us here. Of course, Jordan High School kicks off the playoff run this coming up Friday against Jack Britt there in Fayetteville, which is a non-conference away game. Talk about regarding you had a really impressive game against Southern Alamance, which had the opportunity to win, especially in the second half. Final score was 44-36, and then come out against a great team in Riverside of Durham, won that game 48-28. Really did everything that you wanted to do. So talk about that game against Riverside, and then moving forward, we'll talk a little bit about Jack Britt next. But what was the difference against Riverside that really stood out to you?
Well, it doesn't hurt when the Marion Blue rushes for 302.
That worked.
4 touchdowns and throws a touchdown pass and all those things. It definitely, it was a good thing we had him on the bus. I think that was the best game plan decision we made, was to make sure he got on the bus. But, they came out, they were well prepared. I thought that first half we traded licks for a minute, and it took my guys a second to settle in. Once we settled in, this team is very momentum driven. And we hit a couple big plays, and then that really kind of got the juices flowing. And I think for a while there, especially on defense, like the kids didn't think they could do anything wrong. I mean, we were making play after play after play, and it just started to add up. I noticed that the playbook for Riverside seemingly just started to shrink. And it was like, okay, now we got them right where we want them. And it didn't hurt. The Blue was taking every run we had to the house, so it was good.
That's always a good problem. Again, Marion Blue, All-American, everything, should you say, defensive player, kick returner, of course, on the running back side. He's only a sophomore, which is hard to believe. Over 1,500 yards, 21 touchdowns. You said he threw one. What really, for him, what has been the difference when it comes to him? He's only a sophomore, which is hard to believe. But talk a little bit more about not just the player in blue, but what he meant as a captain, what he meant as a player, a part of the Jordan High School.
It's when you see a high school kid step on your campus, and you're looking at them, and most JV players kind of look the same, to a degree. They've got the big kids and the skill guys and stuff like that, but to a degree, they all kind of look similar. When you get to a kid like Amarion, he walks on your campus as a freshman, and you see how he has the vision and different things like that. You really start to realize how he can do the things he does. One of the things that's probably been the biggest thing I've seen out of Amarion this year is his practice habits have changed. Last year, the game was so much easier to him than most of the people around him that You could catch him loafing in practice, catch him off on the side, joking and cutting up. This year, he practices harder than anybody in the program.
That's
You know, he pushes himself both sides of the ball. He doesn't really get too much of a blow during the week. And then he doesn't get much of a blow on Friday night. And he just keeps pushing himself. The other night, we were trying to give him some rest on defense, and he was refusing to come out. So his competitive spirit has like picked up. And, you know, that combined with his just raw talent and hard work is pretty impressive.
What has been the change though? Why do you think what flipped in the light switch, should you say, for this team and Blue?
I think, you know, for him, his examples and his influence around the game is, you know, obviously his father's a coach at Carolina. And, you know, he's gotten to see VJ last year. He practiced that way. Now he's starting as a freshman at Duke on D line. You know, he's seen that be necessary to achieve beyond high school football what they want to achieve. His dad had a successful career playing at Carolina. You know, all those factors involved. I think he started to listen to the mentorship and see the effect of hard work. And when he's practicing hard, it's really hard for everybody else on the team to loaf. Like if you know if the stud kids practicing, you know, at a level that's like unseen, then they better pick themselves up. And it's pushed us. Hey, you look in the last 4 weeks, we're 3-1. And other than getting healthy, the only thing that's different is how we practice.
Another aspect of your running attack that you mentioned a little bit was getting healthy. Luke Dale came back, a senior running back. I firmly believe you would have had a two-headed monster, well over 2,000 yards apiece if Luke Dale was there healthy all season long. That really helped Blue kind of get where is right now. But talk about the difference what you see out of Dale going into the playoffs.
You know, adding Dale in and then another cog in that machine is a 3-year starter at guard for us, Tyler Clark. Adding him back in, you know, opposite of his brother, who's a freshman, by the way. Having both of those Clark boys in the middle of that line is different. You know, Tyler, he's got a ton of experience. He was checking us in and out of different double teams and whatnot the other night, which was pretty impressive to see. He's played a lot of ball. He knows what we're doing pretty well. But you throw that in there with Luke and Dale is. I mean, I think he may be one of the most instinctually good football players I've ever coached. You know, you watch what he does with the ball around him. Doesn't have to be in his hands. Can be on defense. You know, I'm having a hard time convincing him we need him to play some specials, but you know, trying to keep as much tread off his tires as possible because he is still recovering, which is hard to believe when you see stat lines in the 4 games he's played. So, for me, my expectations for him in the playoff is to continue to be a presence as far as his leadership. He's been a captain since before the season started. As long as he continues to act like that and continue to positively affect his teammates all, you know, every day of the week, not just Friday during the game, I think we'll be in a good spot with him.
Your defensive side, of course, we'll get back into what Vondi has meant coming in. The beginning or first game was against Vance County and never looked back. But talk about your defense a little bit more, Coach, if you can. Your scheme, your defensive coach, because they took a step up as well.
Yeah, my defensive coordinator Jordan Smith. I mean, he's done a fantastic job this season. We come back after the Holly Springs game, and you know we kind of were licking some wounds, and I kind of challenged him to go back to the 4 down, you know, 4-3 front, and make everything work. And you know, told him I don't want to change all the verbiage. I don't want to put in everything new, but we've got to get back to our roots when we first got here, and you know, I think this is the best move for us. And yeah, it probably isn't fun to hear. You know, I've been a coordinator longer than I've been a head coach, and no one ever came to me and said, "Hey, I need you to put the wing T in by next week." Yeah. So, you know, it probably wasn't fun to have your head coach telling you to change your whole scheme and undo all the work you've done all spring and summer. But, you know, he's got us in the best positions possible the last few weeks, and he's really over preparing himself to make sure that every time they line up, he understands the tendency and can get us in the best call possible. So it's been a lot of fun to watch him, you know, ruin every whiteboard marker I've got and, you know, pace up and down, wear a path from my locker room to his office and my office. And so it's been fun, but, you know, I'm pretty proud of him and his players because they've taken everything he said and committed it in practice and in games to being as successful as they have been. And, you know, obviously every defensive coordinator in America wants to give up 0 a game, but for where we are, I think we're doing statistically as good as we were even prayerful that we would be before the season started.
Head football coach of Jordan High School, Coach Allred, joins us here like he does every single Monday here on our Tailgate Sports Show and Next Door Radio. Our phone line is brought to you by Little Caesars, home of the hot and ready pizza here in Oxford, North Carolina, which is 919-618-9258, 919-618-9258. A Jordan High School football program, 4-6. You're 3-1 the last 4 games. You take on a Jack Britt program that is 7-3 on the regular season. Tell me what you know about Jack Britt.
I'm going to tell you right now, they have a kid there, Sincere Baines. This kid is a running back number 1. When you put on the film, he plays defense as well. He's also a kick returner. He's very much our Marion for us. You know, he's a little bit of a do-it-all for them. There's a very different effect when he touches the football. You know, it's amazing to watch the film, and we have several of their games, and we've scouted them, and you know, if he touches the ball, it's a successful play. Wow. If he doesn't touch the ball, it's not as successful. So we'll definitely be looking to contain him most of the night. They have other athletes, and we just want to force those other athletes to be the key reason why they beat us, because right now he's head and shoulders above his teammates in production. So as long as one doesn't have a career night, and that's why it was, then I'll feel pretty good about it. So we're going to neutralize them. Defensively, their front 7 is as good as any we've seen. We're going to have to be comfortable with, and I might segue this nicely, we're going to be comfortable with Bondi putting the ball into the air and getting some guys on the edge and testing somebody other than the interior of that defense, because it's pretty good.
Yeah, you talking about a little about Baines, the senior running back. Of course, he ran right at 2,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, had 4 reception touchdowns, right at 400 yards in the air.
For one, yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. So, yeah, he is what Amarion Blue is for Jordan High School. I'm excited to be able to see that and talk a little bit more. Of course, we're excited to get the win.
There's a couple plays where he gets loose on the sideline, and you can see some of the other cats on the other team that are pretty quick, and they're getting left.
They're just watching.
Kick and move. Yep.
Wow. Well, have fun with that, Coach. Again, so talk a little bit more about that. What are you going to do regarding the offensive side? Anybody that we've not really accustomed to call during Friday Night Football that you say, all right, this is the person that's going to make a difference tonight?
I think you're gonna see Vondi have to put the ball in the air a little bit. I think that with the way their defense is aligning before the ball is snapped and how they've adjusted to teams that play similar to us, I think you're gonna have to see Caden have a big night. I think Caden Chilhowski's gonna, and it may not be catching the football. It is sometimes, as much as we focus all week long, if you could see how many catches that kid has in practice, It would blow your mind. But a lot of times what it ends up in a game is teams understand that they don't want to get beaten by Caden Chilhowski. Yeah. They cover his butt up. That frees somebody else. Ash had a great game against Southern Alabama. It's kind of his coming out party. Something we've been waiting to see is him have a multi-reception game and break a few and make some plays. I think he's playing his best football right now on both sides of the ball. And, Amaris has done a great job for us. Once you give Amaris the football in any kind of space, it's a house call because he's just that fast. So, we're looking to add in. We get Joe Griffin fully cleared. No snap count this week. So we're going to look to, add him in the fold. That's another big body red zone target. So I think the ball's going to go in the air a little bit more until we can get these guys on their heels a little bit. And we're still going to run the ball. That's what we do. Oh, yeah. It's probably going to be a little bit more get the ball on the perimeter and make them defend the full width of the field, not just the full length of it.
Coach Allred, get some rest, my friend. Enjoy the week. Have fun. But, of course, good luck against Jack Britt. We're rooting for you. Of course, we'll be there every step of the way, my friend. Hey, God bless you. Hope you feel better, okay?
Thanks, Trey. Y'all be safe. Go Falcons.
There you go. Appreciate you. See ya. Head football coach, Jordan High School, joins us here by way of our Tailgate Sports Show, of course, live on all of our social media outlets. If you missed this right now, it's 1:44 here on a Monday. 70 degrees, a beautiful afternoon here in Oxford, North Carolina. My name is Trey Snyder. Our phone line was brought to you by Little Caesars, home of the hot and ready pizza, 919-618-9258, 919-618-9258. Jack Britt coming in at 7-3. Jordan High School, as they sit at 4-6, but I don't care who they're playing. the other team that is playing them is going to have a tough matchup. They are playing their best football right now. We're also going to have a team over at Triple S High School as they will be taking on, in the first round of the playoffs, lost one game. They were 3 yards away from their first undefeated season in over 25 years. We'll have a man over there recording that game as well. So stay tuned for more here on our Tailgate Sports Show. Happy Monday to you. My name is Trey Snide. Until next time, thank you so much for being a part of what we do here on Next Door Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and the Next Door Radio app. We'll see you later.